is the City of Monmouth officials. They include Mayor Rod Davies. Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning, Vanessa.
Also, Ken Helms with us, Communications Director. Good morning, Ken.
Good morning.
And Lou Steinbrecher is with us. He is the City Administrator. Good morning, Lou.
Good morning, Vanessa.
Good to see all three of you this morning. You had a fairly short meeting compared to the fact that you had a lot of items on the agenda.
Yeah, it was a pretty full agenda. Had a lot of requests. Starting with the Buchanan Center for the Arts is wanting to do a cemetery walk on October 9th. They had one that's scheduled between 10 and 11 in the morning, and then between 6 and 7 p.m. in the evening. The rain date would be the next day, October 10th. And they want to do a historical walk in the older part of the Monmouth Cemetery with actors portraying certain deceased people with guides and trying to lead different groups of discussions and moving from one gravesite to another. So it's kind of a different request, and so it sounds interesting, though.
Right around the Halloween time frame.
Yes, I think that was their plan.
Well, you know what? Lots of cities have those cemetery tours, walks, ghost tours, haunted tours, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
all in good fun, right?
Yeah, and I think, and just sharing some information about maybe some historical figures there, too.
Sure.
And then we had a request from the Lipanda Foundation. They're based in Galesburg. They're a group that supports and works with and, like I said, supporting the French-speaking African people. There's some fairly large communities in Monmouth and Galesburg. And they had, the last 2 or 3 years, they've had festivals in Galesburg, and they wanted to move part of that festival over here to Monmouth. And that was on Saturday, June 29th. The event would start at 5 and go till 10. They'll have booths and different groups and vendors and, different music, a lot of different things going on, kind of share some cultural things and food and whatnot from those various groups, from the Congolese to others there and from Africa that work here and live here in our communities. And they will also be, they're trying to arrange and get set up for G&M to have a alcohol available. Alcohol sales. So it sounds like it'd be a very interesting group. They're going to have a stage, like I said, with music and performers.
Okay.
And let's see, we also had a request from ICS to close the 100 block of North B Street. And that is for this Friday from 4 to 7 p.m. And they're going to have a drive-through for various food items, and it's kind of a fundraiser. And so I think they're also going to have some other events that are happening, maybe some dancing and music and so forth. So
Is this the ICS Serenata?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
right in time for, big celebration. So that's this Friday?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the 10th from 4:30 to 6:30.
Cool.
And then we had a request from the Prime Bee Festival Committee to host a 5K run walk. It's a kids run to raise money for the Prime Bee Festival. And they're going to follow the same route as the Riley Strong 5K that we had earlier this year. So that's an event that's going to be happening on Saturday, September 7th from looks like 8 to 10:30 or 11. And so hopefully that'll go well for them and they can get some needed funding for the Prime Bee Festival Committee.
They used to do that years ago and then had to stop. And it's nice to see it come back.
Yeah, they said they had some, out around the Monsanto property, and they had some others out around the cross-country route around the park, and they had some others, and I guess they ran into issues, and some of the runners, walkers, had issues with those spots. So we're going to try this one, and it's been fairly successful, I think, for the Riley Strong group, so they're going to try that route.
Okay.
And then after that, we had the director's reports. We had started off with the building and zoning monthly report that Director Clark gave. He gave some numbers for the month as well. It's really interesting to see how much residential construction has happened year to date. Right now, we're sitting at $342,000 in permits that have went out. So that is the value of the different residential constructions that has happened since the start of the year. And public service construction total was $634,000, and year-to-date business construction total was $456,000. And then there's a little bit over $1.1 million in the enterprise zone construction total. So all those numbers together definitely show that people are investing quite a bit in the infrastructure and in the homes, that kind of thing. So that's great to see.
That's good news.
It is. And then there's also just a couple small projects that were going on around town. There's a couple of different commercial demolitions that occurred, one on East Jackson Avenue and one on South 2nd Street. These were both due to heavy snow load that happened earlier this year and caused the roof to collapse. So they ended up doing demolitions on them. Repairs, when you look at a full roof collapse like that, generally become cost prohibitive, just with everything that's involved there. Then after that, we had the Woodard and Curran monthly report that Director Jackson gave. He gave an update on a couple different ones. As everybody can see, most of the infrastructure that has went on in the downtown in preparation for the streetscape project has been completed. They put some concrete in it, so we no longer have the temporary fill that's there. Makes it a little bit smoother. And then later this month, we collect all the bids for the streetscaping process.
I think we have one thing left on the downtown infrastructure, and that's the sewer lining. I think going to start in a week or two. So that'll be a key piece to reline all the sewer. So we have brand new water mains and essentially brand new sewer. So
yeah, they came in and told us to make sure we had some towels to wrap around the the fixtures in the restroom, just to make sure that the
they're going to be doing jetting.
Yeah.
They have to clean it out.
Yeah, so. With the commercial jetting they're doing, that's definitely going to be, you kind of want to take that precaution.
Pollock ceiling art or anything in the restroom.
Right. Luckily, I had some old dog towels. Literally, I had some old Scooby-Doo dog towels I use for the dogs in the winter to, wipe toes. So we're all set here.
And they're actually doing kind of a neat thing with the sewer in some parts, too. They're doing lining where they basically blow a balloon around it and then it on the inside. And then the resin hardens and it creates a new structure inside the existing. So that's pretty neat. They won't be doing that all over the square. Some of it will end up being a little bit different type of fixing, but that works pretty well.
Okay. So let's pause on that for a second, if you would, Ken and Lou and Rod. So we're collecting bids now for the downtown streetscape. You've released on Facebook. We released it too on our website, the next steps for the downtown. Lou, if you want to, go ahead and let us know that starting in June, what we can expect sequence-wise in the next phase of this project.
Sure. Well, we would expect that there will be a bid award at the City Council meeting on May 20th, and then hopefully by early to mid-June, the contractor will come in and get prepared to start the construction activity. The sequence is such that the 4 100 blocks on Broadway and East and West Broadway and North and South Main, those entrance and exits into and out of the public square will be the first phase of the construction, and that will be to taper the 2 lanes into 1 lane. There will be diagonal parking established, and then of course all new curb. There will be also a curbed medium in all 4 100 blocks. It'll be about 2 to 3 feet wide, and that'll serve as some greenery, in the middle of the street, as well as a safety island for pedestrians as they cross from quadrant to quadrant. And then they will begin in the northeast quadrant where City Hall is located. And then they will continue counterclockwise, going over to the county courthouse and then into the southwest quadrant, and then finishing up here in the southeast quadrant with Market Alley being done. And that probably, they won't get to this quadrant here in the southeast until about fall or thereabouts. So the target date is to be completed by the end of the calendar year, with perhaps some punch list items like plantings and that type of thing in the spring of 25. But we expect to be substantially completed by the end of December of this year. So.
Okay. Thank you
And
for that
then-
update.
Yeah, and then we're going to have that off-street parking on South First Street. That'll be underway, and hopefully that new project will be completed before they begin work on the Market Alley area and this year, so we have some additional parking available there for folks.
Yeah, good. That's a good catch, Mayor.
Okay. Anything else that you guys plan on having different in the downtown after it's completed?
I don't know, Lou, what do you, again, the whole thing is to help pedestrian safety, calm the traffic down.
Good lines painted. We're going to get really good painting on the line, or you know what I mean, the pedestrian crossings.
Yeah, and we'll have the signs there for that, and I think
Yeah, there'll actually, you'll notice that the islands going into and coming out of each of the quadrants, the islands will actually be much larger than what they are currently, and they will be planted with greenery as well. Really will soften up that hard look of the concrete and asphalt. But I should mention that the entrances and exits in and out of the quadrants are going to be reversed from what they are currently. You'll actually go, as you're coming into the public square from any direction, cars will be directed to enter on the second opening, and that will align with the angle of the diagonal parking. And then as you exit, you'll be coming out what you would think of as the first entrance as you're going around the circle itself. So that'll be a little bit different. We're going to try to get some enter and exit signs posted when that's complete to help direct motorists to enter at the right location in
Sure.
each of the quadrants. So
Yeah, because
and
we've
then-
only been turning in and out of the same way for years, so I'll definitely need
Yeah.
a sign to remind me.
Yeah. Just remember to go to the second opening as you're going into the into any of the quadrants.
Okay.
And then Market Alley itself will obviously be worked on, and there'll be improvements there with. More than likely, we will be removing the planted trees that are there, and then what trees will be used to replace will probably be used in planters
Yeah.
so they don't cause damage to any concretes or brick work
Sure.
on the ground itself. So it should be a very attractive venue for outdoor events and activities, and just be so inviting to the walking public. So just ask everyone to be patient with us during the next few months and the inconvenience that comes with construction. So.
Okay. What's next on your list?
Well, the Woodard and Curran team of engineers were here as well this yesterday and this week, and they're helping us with we had to abandon the well project because it just became we rebid it 3 times, couldn't get a good project price. So what we're going to do after we successfully got the grant, went to DCEO last Friday, and thanks to their cooperation and help, we were able to transfer the $2 million grant that was going to be for the well to the new water plant project that will produce about 1 million gallons of new potable water every day to help us meet the growing demand needs we have for finished potable water. And so all of the water mains that we rebuilt and replaced on Harlem Avenue has allowed us to bring that water plant to the Harlem Avenue site right next to our existing well and water tower. And so we will be proceeding with design, engineering, and bidding for that new water treatment plant, again ensuring that we have plenty of water for everyone. A lot of the demands that we have expressed to us, and so we will keep moving that project forward, and it will be a good one. And that allows us to tie all of our 3 deep wells on the north side of town together, and now we'll have 2 finished water plants tied together. And so it's a real improvement to the system, and thanks to the projects we've been doing all along. And so again, that's we're very excited about that.
Okay.
And then we had a application under our Downtown Commercial Building Rehabilitation Program for 100 South Main Street. That's the old Wells Fargo building owned by Jason Robbins. And they had asked for assistance and reimbursement to replace all 4 of their HVAC roof units. Total cost of that project, $62,000. That is a TIF eligible expense. And it does qualify for reimbursement of $18,600, and that is once the project is completed, inspected, and approved, submittal of the final invoices, and of course proof of payment, and then eligible for that 30% reimbursement under the program. I will say that this continues to be probably one of the most successful economic development incentive programs that the city offers. I think over the last 3.5 years, city has participated to the tune of about $500,000, but we've actually leveraged over $3 million in new private investment in these historic commercial buildings in the downtown. So it's been a real blessing, I think, for the community, and it's preserving and protecting these historic buildings, brick buildings for the most part, and preserving the character of downtown Monmouth. And we're just glad to be a part of that.
Remind people again how they can participate in this project.
Well, it's a very simple 2-page application. Just contact my office at City Hall. We can make that application available. And it's for TIF eligible expenses. These would be primarily improvements to the building itself, and that would include tuck pointing to preserve the brick face on buildings, replacing windows, furnaces, electrical systems, air conditioning units, elements that are core to the building's existing. New roofs clearly is always that's been probably the most popular preservation project that we've had out there, and it's fairly simple. You submit the application along with quotes or cost estimates from contractors, and it will be taken to the council for approval. And then once that's done, you just do the work and submit the paperwork afterwards, get it inspected, make sure it's been approved, and then we'll issue a 30% reimbursement. So
Okay.
and then we had a redevelopment agreement with Midwestern Pet Foods. They have a major plan replacement of their roof on their main building at 617 South D Street. They will be removing the old roof, and that is the part that's eligible for TIF reimbursement. But they are then going to be putting in several $1 million worth of new equipment into their pet food operations to increase production and just update some outdated machinery and other equipment in the food processing business operations. Then the new roof would be put back on once the new equipment is in. Total cost of the roof replacement portion of it is about $535,000. It is a more traditional TIF project. That is,
they will get reimbursement of all their TIF eligible costs, but it will come from funds on a year-to-year basis that they actually pay into property taxes. The incremental increase in property taxes will be captured by the TIF district, and those will be the funds that will be used to then reimburse Midwestern Pet Foods for these TIF eligible costs. There will be no public tax dollars involved in this project. It will simply come from future property taxes that the company itself pays in future years that will be captured and returned to them. And then lastly, we had reached a tentative agreement with the firefighters, the local 1702 collective bargaining unit on a new 3-year contract. It does call for annual salary increases, and then there are some concessions also in there in terms of health insurance, having the employees contribute a little bit more to the premium, the monthly premium, putting a ceiling on the amount of money that the city will put into individual health savings accounts, and then a limit on the amount of the annual deductible amount on these insurance plans. So it had been previously ratified by the union a couple of weeks ago, and then, of course, it was approved unanimously last night by the city council.
Okay. Anything else?
Just one little thing with the public works side. We had done the lead service line, kind of a program that we were mandated to perform through the Illinois EPA. What that is we just identify all the lead service lines that are in town, and then we come up with a plan to replace it. That's a multi-year plan that stretches out, and now we're into a stage of it where anybody who had received a kind of a form in the mail that was asking, what kind of service line do you have, and here's what the different types look like. Please fill this out and send it back to us. Essentially, those who have not filled that out will be receiving a second letter, and as well as the ones that we had identified that did have a lead service line will be receiving a letter just kind of giving them a little bit more information about it and a phone number to call if they have any questions.
Okay.
So that's going out in the next couple weeks.
Okay. Anything else, gentlemen?
I think we covered everything.
All righty. Well, have a good week.
Thank you. You too.
That is Mayor Rod Davies, City Administrator Lou Steinbrecher, and Communications Director Ken Helms with the City of Monmouth.